What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Raymond Tackle Forever. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm back with another VEDA Day video. But before I get in that video, I want to remind everyone to check out my playlist called National Day Video Tags and VEDA Day videos, all in one playlist. Take the time to check that playlist out. Leave me some comments and leave me some thumbs up. Today I'm back with VEDA Day 2, VEDA Day number 2. I'm sharing my thoughts on R. Kelly sentencing. Now, before I had made my mind to do this video, I wanted to take the time to check out the interview with his wife that she did a while back, a few days ago, a few months ago, whatever. And Surviving R. Kelly, the Netflix movie or series, whatever you want to call it. First, I want to share my thoughts on the interview with R. Kelly's wife. I felt like I could really feel the emotions and what she went through, because you can feel the vibe, you can feel the energy. You know, you can feel the energy that she was being sincere with her interview. The questions was coming back to her. They asked her, do she feel that R. Kelly is guilty? She said no. Without a doubt in her mind, no, she don't believe it. However, they did not ask her to go into details, but on what she experienced, what she went through, they went into all the details on that, all the abuse, the mental abuse, the verbal abuse, the imprisonment, being in the hall tied to the bed with your hands and feet tied behind your back, while R. Kelly laying in the bed next to her, sleep, crying. While she's crying all night, he's laying there sleeping peacefully. She did share her experience and why she decided to keep her last name Kelly even after the divorce. And I respect that by all means. Sharing my thoughts on R. Kelly's sentencing. I still say he's not guilty until I see evidence. That's my opinion. I still say he's not guilty. He's not guilty until I see evidence. Till I see evidence. That's first and foremost. Get out of the way. Get that in the opening. I still feel he's not guilty until I see actual evidence. I've said it once, I will say it again. Word of mouth is not enough to hold up in court. Word of mouth is not enough to get someone sentenced to jail time, prison time, etc., etc. Word of mouth is not enough without actual evidence. I will also say that this whole trial, this whole case leads to a million different questions. A million different questions. So keep up with me. I'm going to share my thoughts on it and why I say this case leads to so many questions. For one, why would a judge accept old evidence? Why would he allow old evidence that the case that R. Kelly beat in 06, the Florida case, the other two cases he beat back in 06, that whole trial and everything. After R. Kelly beat those cases, all of that evidence and everything should have been thrown out. No judge should be willing to hear that. After them been thrown out, he done beat the charges. I ain't gonna say that, he beat the case. All that evidence and everything for them case should not even be a subject right now. Let me say that one more time for those in the back. Everything concerning the cases in Florida and all the other cases that he beat back in 06, those cases should not be a subject right now. In my opinion, those should not be a subject right now. Those should not be discussed right now. Nothing from them cases should be coming up right now. Nothing from them cases should be coming up right now. Any judge is willing to hear old evidence and statements and whatnot is not a real judge, because you would say that all of that is relevant. He beat those cases, all of that is relevant, in my opinion. Secondly, I will go ahead and say that I can feel the intents in those testimonies that a lot of people giving in the R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly Netflix movie. You know, I didn't watch the whole series or the second series. I watched season 1 the first 9 episodes. You know what I mean? The first 9 episodes. And as I said, this case is leading to 1,000,001 questions. Like, you know, for starters, everyone that gave a testimony, all the adults that knew what was going on, that admitted in this Surviving R. Kelly Netflix movie, TV show, series, whatever you want to call it, you know, should be on the charge as well. Even the pastor that married Aaliyah and R. Kelly should be brought up on charges. You're supposed to be a man of God, and here you go marrying a grown man and a child. You know, it also make you want to ask, why did he wait 30 years to say something about it, to admit when he did? You know, that goes to show where you stand. That goes to show where you stand with your God and where you stand with your morals and respect and principles in life. You wait 30 years to finally come forward. What you doing? You doing bad out in the world, needing some money? Because I know everyone that's in this Netflix series got paid to tell their side. You know what I mean? Come on now. Everyone knows the marriage license is public information, so they can clearly see that R. Kelly married Aaliyah when she was underage. And yet you performed this marriage. Isn't that against the law? Why you haven't been charged? Everyone the story about the other victims walked in on R. Kelly having sex with Aaliyah on a tour bus with the door wide open. You know, the owner or the driver of the tour bus, why didn't you speak up? You know, here's a grown man, here's a bunch of grown men on a tour bus with underage girls. Why didn't you speak up and say anything about that? You know, it just leads to a bunch of questions you know, I'm pretty sure these kids, they told someone. I'm pretty sure these kids told their parents. Why didn't the parents start investigating or bring it to the police ASAP? You know? It just leads, I keep going. I keep going all night. I keep going all night to questions. You know? Everyone that was in the studio from the time R. Kelly started R&B up until the second trial. Y'all been in the studio with him and these underage girls in there, and you see how he acting with the underage girls and whatnot, and you didn't think nothing of it. You asked him about it later, put him to the side later, asked him about it, and whatever answer he gave, you just went with it. Instead of doing your own investigation, instead of bringing it to authority, you just went along with it. You as guilty as R. Kelly is. You know, you as guilty as they say, as they say R. Kelly is. You know? Everyone that gave out a phone, gave out R. Kelly phone to all these random females that you was meeting for R. Kelly, that R. Kelly told you to give his number to, you as guilty as well. As they say, R. Kelly is guilty, you're guilty. Everyone in his entourage is guilty, just like he is. You know, just like they say he is. I'm saying just like they say he is, you know. I find it ironic that all these girls he met, where majority of the females was inspired singers that had females that had dreams, or children that had children that had dreams of being a big singer. You know what I mean? So I believe that's why when the kids told, when the girls told their parents what was going on, they figured this R. Kelly, you know, you can help change all our lives if we keep this on the hush hush. You know, you can help our daughter grow up in the music industry, make millions of dollars, and change everybody's life. You know, so I believe that's why y'all kept quiet. You know, I truly do. Now that you're playing a backfire, now you want to do the Netflix movie because your Netflix series because you hurt for money now. In my opinion, you know, so I keep on going. There's so many questions. No one saw nothing suspect of R. Kelly coming to all these different schools. I don't know if it was more than one school or just one particular school, but coming to the schools and picking up young girls that wasn't related to him in no kind of way, that wasn't his child, No one saw nothing suspect about that. You know, I find it crazy. Even his tour manager or whoever that asked him, was he sleeping with a lil? He said, no, I wasn't. And left like that. You're just guilty as he was. You're just as guilty as they say R. Kelly is. I mean, everybody that did business with R. Kelly and knew what was going on is guilty as they say R. Kelly is and all this. Because you didn't speak up. This all could have been prevented if it's true. It could have been prevented years ago. And yet nobody took the time to speak up. They overlooked it. You know. Now, moving forward to the second trial and everything. You know. Now, this is a black man, African American man, very successful in the world. And you telling me it wasn't no Superman cop back then? It wasn't no Superman cop like in the Frank Leonard situation? I'm pretty sure everyone knows now about the Frank Leonard situation, you know. Frank Leonard was a big-time drug dealer, heroin dealer. Nobody knew who he was until he went to a boxing fight in a big expensive fur coat, shaking hands with all the big dogs, all the top dogs. And one news reporter took a picture asking who he was, and that led to the whole big investigation. Kind of found out Frank Leonard was a big heroin dealer. He telling me no super cop took the time to do that. No super cop took the time to do illegal stuff to bring R. Kelly down. This is a black successful man, and that is American dream to destroy every black African man that make it in life. You know, that make it successful in life. That surpass the level that they say the African black man can proceed in life. You know, you tell me it wasn't no super cop back then that took the time to say, I'm gonna do my own investigation and get some solid evidence. Even with knowing R. Kelly beat all the charges in 06. R. Kelly beat all the cases, all the past cases. That didn't make no super cop get on the floor and say, you know what, I'm going to plant buzz, so to follow him around and do my own investigation without letting anyone know, and then bring all the evidence to the table. I find that very hard to believe. I find that very, very, very hard to believe. You know, I find that very hard to believe. Come on. This is a big R&B star that going down that got people accusing him of sleeping with underage minors, underage females, underage, and nobody took the time to investigate. I find that very hard to believe. That's the reason I say he's guilty. Come on, he beat all the charges the first time, and then he had all that coming to the surface again, and still no solid evidence other than the Leah situation, other than the marriage license for that, saying that he married her when she was underage. Other than that, what evidence? There's still no evidence to this day. There's still no solid evidence to this day. And nobody found that fishy or hard to believe that there's still no solid evidence to hold up in court other than word of mouth. No, word of mouth don't mean nothing. Look at the Harriet Tillman situation. That old lady just came out a few years ago and admit that she lied. She lied. She lived her whole life and everything, and now you want to admit that you lied on him. Really? Really? Come on, America. I know we smarter than this now. I know we more intelligent than this now. Come on now. Come on now, America. You know? That's why I say this case, a lot not adding up. And now you telling me this man R. Kelly gets sentenced to 30 years in prison off of what evidence? Off of what evidence? That's why I'm saying he's still not guilty. All the evidence in front of all these statements and everything, I understand, I respect all that. There's enough for me to say he's guilty, but at the same time, like I previously said, we need evidence. We need actual proof. Videos that shows him clear day and he acts as they say he did. Audio, whatever. We need some solid evidence that will hold him in court to prove me otherwise. This is my opinion. These are my opinions of how I feel. I'm I'm sharing my thoughts with you guys. A lot of people should be in trouble just as much as he is. Everybody that knew about what was going on through both cases should be in trouble. You know? Everybody should be in trouble for all this. Just being honest. Everybody should be brought up on charges. Cause they just as guilty as they say R. Kelly is. I like how the media try to paint a nasty picture of him, like on the Netflix series, just show how after he beat the first case, he started dropping all these platinum hits and whatnot. I mean, life do go on, life do goes on. Just being honest, life do goes on. What y'all thought he's just gonna sit around stressed and depressed and whatnot, et cetera, et cetera? No, life goes on. Life goes on, But I find it hard, but I get off topic, I find it hard to believe that all these girls he was meeting had dreams of being a singer. I find that hard to believe. And it's just crazy that no law enforcement took the time to get solid evidence to where when he come out to court, there's no way for him to get off. That's just my opinion. But I feel everyone in his entourage is guilty just as much as he is. And I feel he shouldn't be doing on 30 years right now because there's still no solid evidence. There's still no solid evidence other than the testimonies that everyone gave, all the victims gave. Other than that, there's no solid evidence. They got a couple of ex-girlfriends that said what they said, and they seen the videos and whatnot. But yet, those videos are not enough to hold up in court, are they? Because those videos are not being discussed. They didn't focus on the charges. So, where is the solid evidence? Those videos show it was clear that, as that girlfriend said on the Netflix series, Survivor R. Kelly, that if she can see R. Kelly that clear in that video, then that should be enough for him not to beat them charges that he beat back in the day, in my opinion. And just in my opinion, I mean, that was at least a dozen different questions. At least this whole case leads to 1,000,001 questions because a lot not making sense, a lot not adding up. It's just that simple in my eyes. But I'm sharing my thoughts, I'm sharing how I feel. I'm not no lawyer. I'm just a man that use common sense and my six senses and go from there. I go from there. I also want to say to all the parents, they're just not speaking out because I believe, my memory served me well, it was on the one husband, wife, mother, and father that spoke out back then. And you telling me why is y'all speaking up now? It's 30 years later. That's why I say a lot not adding up about this situation. So I'm sticking to my verdict that he's not guilty until I see solid evidence. I see foolproof evidence that nailed him to the wall without a doubt. This is R. Kelly. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. And I'm sticking with it, and I would die with that opinion. I just don't believe that all this is going on without solid evidence. How can someone get sentenced to 30 years incarceration with no evidence? That's the part that really get me the most. I just want to share my thoughts on that. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. I'll give you a shout out. My shout out video the last Sunday in August. Also, if you like my thoughts, remember to subscribe, like, comment, share. Make sure you turn on post notification, and most importantly, make sure you take the time to check out my playlist that's in the description box below.